Good morning. So welcome to this session for today. Yeah, I'm still slightly struggling with getting going with these sessions because I'm still just sort of trying to sort out some financial stuff really. Set a low in inspiration, something like that. Anyway, I was wondering what to do today, and I was just looking through my book of readings, and what struck me was the reading from the Tibetan Book of the Dead, which is describing being in the bardo, which is the time after death, between death and rebirth. And what happens there, or what's supposed to happen, or what the Tibetans think happens, is that we're faced with various visions, and we have the opportunity at any point to move towards reality rather than move towards distraction or some other state, some other states avoiding reality. So I thought I'd kind of call today's session Staying with Reality. So we're going to look at the dark blue Buddha Aksobhya, whose name means imperturbable. So it's like, yeah. And I think it's good for me to do this because I think getting my pension, I've slightly relaxed a bit in the sense of I'm all right or something like that, and that isn't the case. I could die any minute really. So we're not all right any time. That's what the Bardo Tidol, the Tibetan Book of the Dead, is trying to sort of say to us. You need to be ready at any point. Just a minute ago, actually, just a couple of minutes ago, I was just looking at something Denise Welsh was. She was giving an interview and talking about COVID and the whole thing of scaremongering by the government, and I felt kind of like brought alive by what she was saying. Really, that somebody's actually saying stuff. It's like I think. I talked last week about safety culture, and it's easy for us to think that we can, if we do all the right things, that we'd be safe. If we sort of pay lip service to safety and to kind of endless announcements about COVID and all that sort of thing, that somehow that will make us safe. Well, it won't, because what we'll do is we'll just sink back into some sort of depressed state, where we're holding on like this, It's not an open state. It's like it's a state of anxiety. So there's something about like being open, even in the face of threat. And I thought that in a way we've got to sort of face I kind of Jordan Peterson would talk about stand up straight and help put your shoulders back, and we got to face reality from here, that sort of thing. So this is the theme that's emerged for this morning, so I'll talk more about it later after the meditation. So let's begin by trying to wake our body up a little bit. So rub your hands together, the backs of your hands. Face. Just drumming on top of your head. Shake everything out. Hands and feet. Do a bit of shaking. So put your shoulders forward and do And then shoot backwards and forwards. And this sort of movement, twisting, holding. And shake everything out. There we go, over your shoulder. Okay, that'll do. All right, so So what we're going to do is just we'll meditate for a bit, just settling down, and then I'm going to read the reading from Aksobhya, the Blue Buddha's appearance in the bardo, and then we're going to just let the words of that sink in, and then when the meditation's finished, I'll just talk a bit about some of the concepts in there. So just so I'm just going to meditate for 10 minutes before I do the reading. Aksobhya's appearance in the bardo from the Tibetan Book of the Dead. O son of noble family, listen without distraction. On the second day, Aksobhya's circle of deities will come to you to invite you together with the bad karma which leads to hell. A white light, the purified element of water, will shine. And at the same time, blessed Vajrasattva Aksobhya will appear before you from the blue eastern realm of complete joy, Abharati. His body is blue in colour. He holds a 5-pointed Vajra in his hand and sits on an elephant throne, embracing his consort Buddha Lochana. He is accompanied by the 2 male bodhisattvas, Kshitigarbha and Maitreya, and the 2 female bodhisattvas, Lasya and Pushpa, so that 6 Buddha forms appear. The white light of the skandha of form in its basic purity, the mirror-like wisdom, dazzling white, luminous and clear, will come towards you from the heart of Aksobhya and his consort, and pierce you so that your eyes cannot bear to look upon it. At the same time, together with the wisdom light, the soft smoky light of hell beings will also come towards you and pierce you. At that time, under the influence of aggression, you will be terrified and escape from the brilliant white light. But you will feel an emotion of pleasure towards the soft smoky light of the hell beings. At that moment, do not be afraid of the sharp, brilliant, luminous, and clear white light, but recognize it as wisdom. Be drawn to it with faith and longing, and supplicate it, thinking, it is the light ray of blessed Aksobhya's compassion. I take refuge in it. It is blessed Aksobhya coming to invite you in the terrors of the bardo. It is the light ray hook of Aksobhya's compassion, so feel longing for it. Do not take pleasure in the soft smoky light of the hell beings. This is the inviting path of your neurotic veils accumulated by violent aggression. If you're attracted to it, you will fall down into hell and sink into the muddy swamp of unbearable suffering from which there is never any escape. It is an obstacle blocking the path of liberation, so do not look at it, but give up aggression. Do not be attracted to it. Do not yearn for it. Feel longing for the luminous, brilliant white light, and say this inspiration prayer with intense concentration on blessed Aksobhya. When through intense aggression I wander in samsara, on the luminous light path of the mirror-like wisdom, may blessed Aksobhya go before me, his consort Buddha Lochana behind me. Help me to cross the bardo's dangerous pathway and bring me to the perfect Buddha state. When through intense aggression I wander in samsara, on the luminous light path of the mirror-like wisdom, may blessed Aksobhya go before me, his consort Buddha Lochana behind me. Help me to cross the bardo's dangerous pathway and bring me to the perfect Buddha state. When through intense aggression I wander in samsara, on the luminous light path of the mirror-like wisdom, May blessed Aksobhya go before me, his consort Buddha Lochana behind me. Help me to cross the bardo's dangerous pathway and bring me to the perfect Buddha state. By saying this inspiration prayer with deep devotion, you will dissolve into rainbow light in the heart of blessed Vajrasattva Aksobhya and become a Sambhogakaya Buddha in the Eastern realm of complete joy. Okay, so what can we make of some of that symbolism? Don't know. We just have to draw from it what we can, don't we, really? So Aksobhya is the dark blue Buddha. So what you have is, in Tibetan Buddhism, you have something called a 5 Buddha mandala. You've got a white Buddha in the center of this mandala. It's like a geometric kind of forms, symbolic forms. So you've got a white Buddha in the middle, Varochana. Forgotten what his name means. Anyway, and then you've got a yellow Buddha, a red Buddha, green Buddha, and blue Buddha. So, and they each have kind of associations with them. So, so Aksobhya, his name means imperturbable. His association is with seeing things as they really are, and with wisdom. So each of the Buddhas has a particular wisdom. Like another one is discriminating wisdom, or action accomplishing wisdom. So there's a particular wisdom, and so Aksobhya's wisdom is mirror-like wisdom. So it's like seeing. So it's like when we look in a mirror, we just see what's there, don't we? So it's the wisdom that just actually sees what's there. And each of the Buddhas has an animal associated with it. So he's got an elephant. So an elephant is just really sort of solid, isn't it? It's reliable and sturdy. So it's like imperturbable. It's like kind of not isn't blown away by difficulty, by aspects of reality. Is able to stay with things, and is associated with a particular realm, which is the realm of beings in hell. So you have 6 realms: your God realm, and the animal realm, and the human realm, and jealous God's realm, and beings in states of addiction, or hungry ghost realm. So what does it mean that he's associated with the beings in hell? So I suppose when you're in hell, what happens is you have no hope, do you? You have no hope. It's just unrelenting suffering, pain, extreme pain. So why is that associated with wisdom and with aggression? When through intense aggression I wander in samsara. Well, I think there is an association between hatred and wisdom. So people who are kind of quite acute intellectually are often a bit irascible. And I think what it is, it's like if you see things clearly, then you can want to sort of just get rid of the thing that's not going to be helpful. So you can just want to blast it out of the water. If you're a scholar or something like that, and you just see everything clearly. You can get impatient with people who don't see things clearly. So, but you know, like hatred is like the opposite of compassion, isn't it? So, I suppose like maybe beings in hell have stopped caring for themselves or something like that, you know, or they stop believing that that anything other is possible, you know. So you always climb out of hell or a difficult state by being skillful. So, you know, one of the two main aspects of being skillful is kindness. The other one being awareness. So are we responsible for when we have lack of hope? Is a question we could have. And in a way, well, I suppose like the opposite of lack of hope is faith, isn't it? So, or, you know, having a kind of confidence that in Buddhism, Shraddha is faith, but it also means confidence. So having confidence in something. So it's like, if we don't have confidence in anything, we're not on any path really, you know. So I suppose like we can always ask ourselves the question, you know, what path are we on? Are we on the path of hoping for the best? You know, fingers crossed. So our symbolic action is that, you know, hope it all works out. Or are we on the path of, you know, believing that there's some sort of ethical structure to the universe, you know? So Buddhism talks about, in a way, you know, one of the central truths that the Buddha saw was that things are impermanent, so things fall apart. So an aspect of wisdom is seeing that everything we create will fall apart, or everything we have will fall apart, to the extent that it's part of conditioned existence. So the Bodhisattva is said to take their stand in emptiness. Well, emptiness is another word for impermanence. So it's like they kind of rely on the fact that things will fall apart and aren't kind of adversely affected by that, because that's how things are, you know. So yeah, just the question is, you know, can we stay with things falling apart or things not being what we wanted or do want, or that sort of thing, you know? So maybe what happens in the bardo is you're faced with these repeated choices between the intense light coming from a particular Buddha. So each of the 5 Buddhas appear one after the other. Intense light coming from a particular Buddha. That it says in the text here, you know, it pierces you so that your eyes cannot look at it. You know, it's like intense. You know, it's powerful and intense. This the light from the Buddha. But then at the same time, you've got another alternative appears at the same time, which is a softer light or a smoky light or something like that, which is coming from the the tendency towards being in a particular realm, like the human realm or hell realm, and whatever goes with that. So maybe the hell realm is the attractive thing about the hell realm is we can be just attracted to our familiar suffering, like kind of moaning about, I knew it would be like this, or things never work out, or and it's like we're telling ourselves a story that there's no way out of our situation, sort of thing, the difficult situation, painful situation. But something kind of like familiar and kind of comforting in that kind of moany sort of state. So I suppose like what we're being asked to do is to when we're in some sort of state like that is to find a way of acknowledging that and seeing it as not leading anywhere. So in Buddhism, you have a thing called a demon dagger. This is a demon dagger, and so it's got some demons on the top there. But what you're supposed to do with it is from Tibetan Buddhism. You're supposed to kind of identify what the thing is that's kind of unskillful, that's holding you back. And sometimes it can just be a bit slippery, it's like we don't really, where is it? It's hard to acknowledge. So it's like you have to pin it down with the demon dagger and go, yeah, this is the case, I'm moaning here, I'm indulging in self-pity and wallowing in it. And this is what I'm doing, so I'm going to pin that demon down to the floor so I can look at it and acknowledge it, really, not sort of half acknowledge and it slips away and it starts still affecting us. So it's like really kind of pinning it down, what's the problem here? So maybe in any situation, this is possible in any situation. So if I'm looking at my situation at the moment, what is this? What's going on? That's a bit like this. Well, I suppose there's a little bit of thinking that if I now I've got a pension and once I've got my housing benefit sorted out and everything like that, I know I'm going to get a certain amount of money every week, and maybe there's a bit of a tendency towards laziness, and one of the abiding sin of Buddhism is laziness. So you just sort of start sitting back a bit and thinking you're all right or something like that, But in my ordination, I did 4 vows, and one of them was to help save all sentient beings. So it's not just about me being all right. It's about how's everybody doing. So I've been doing these sessions this year, and I've done over 100 sessions, and like I did get to the point where I felt a bit tired mentally with all the thinking, but I have had a bit of a break. I did a solitary retreat recently, and since then I've been doing these sessions, but only 3 a week. But I think objectively, I probably still do need a little bit of mental replenishment, but it's like it's early days in a way doing these sessions. I mean, I only started doing them this year, and even though I had quite a few people coming in on Facebook, since I've gone onto YouTube, it's not been so many. So there's a bit of like a doubt there. So pin the doubt down, Oh, I'm not having any effect. What's the point? So it's all these sorts of things are all. This is why Buddhism talks about non-self. So all these kind of thoughts are all kind of self-orientated. It's like, why should I bother, or I'm not getting anywhere, or whatever, and therefore I need to stop and give up and that sort of thing. So so we need to keep just moving towards the bright light of the Buddha. What's the Buddha saying, to do here? And you've got to keep trying, he's saying. You've got to kind of put energy out there and find out what the problem is and solve it and be successful. So that, Aksobhya is the green Buddha, and he's associated with action and success. So it's like, making a success out of your life, kind of getting somewhere, having an effect, and all that sort of thing. So, yeah. Anything else in this? So, Aksobhya was accompanied by various bodhisattvas, and one of them is called Kshitigarbha, and he's interesting. He's dressed like a monk with a saffron robe, and he's got like a staff, a mendicant staff, and it's got a kind of it's got like a light on top of it, And what he does is he goes down into the hell realm and helps beings in hell. So quite a kind of inspiring figure, really. That he's not just, he's actually seeking out helping those who are most hopeless, really. Anyway, yeah. What else? Yeah. So it's a dangerous pathway. There's what keeps being repeated. That phrase keeps getting repeated in the Tibetan Book of the Dead. It said life is a dangerous pathway, because we always have this possibility of falling off the path, or falling away, into some comfortable state, or greed, into aggression, or into just kind of dullness. There's just so many kind of possible diversions, really, from in a way kind of helping all beings attain enlightenment is like being on a hill where there's always the possibility that you're going to go down the side of the hill, like fall off, rather than keep going, or something like that. It's like a negative potential well. So so that's why awareness is so important in Buddhism. It's like you have to keep bringing awareness back into things. Keep bringing loving kindness back. It's not neither of those two things are automatic. So that's why we meditate. That's why we stop and say, what's going on? Do I have enough loving kindness? Do I have enough awareness? Am I clear enough about reality, how it is, and what are my demons, and am I pinning them down, and all that sort of thing. So okay, so these sessions at the moment are a little bit of a filler. It's like I'm halfway between having done loads of sessions that, you know, that had strong themes to them, and the thing I'm going to do next, which is working towards shorter videos and discussions, but it's like I'm not quite there yet, and I've got a little bit of stuff to get out of the way, really, psychologically. So, but I will get going, you know, most powerfully at some point. Okay, so have a nice day, and wish you well. All right, thanks. If it's Richard out there, hi Richard.